Okay, let's just get this together. Yep. Let's see. Hello, hello. What's up? At least I know the game audio is working. That's good. Oh, but yeah, I gotta do all the other stuff first. Create video clips to expand. Oh wow, I could actually make clips now. I actually never noticed that. I actually do live streams so rarely that I forgot I could actually make clips. I should do that more sometime. I wonder if this has any this doesn't have any category yet. Alas. Yeah, no category yet. You know what, it's fine. It's okay. Turn on the game audio just a little bit more. Alright, I think I should be good now. Might as well charge my phone while I'm at it. Is there news? Nope, not yet. Not yet. We're gonna have to wait a little longer. At least, I think, until this game is out officially and Sonic Racing Crossroads is done. Maybe next year we'll probably hear something more. But right now, no. Nothing of note quite yet. Let's see. Yeah, 60, please. I do love 60 FPS. No, it's a 90. Text English, voice English, yep. Let's just licensing stuff. It's not easy seeking vengeance. Assist options are available anytime in the options menu should you wish to customize your Shinobi experience. This game autosaves when you reach a checkpoint, return to the world map, or exit the game. Let me see assist options. Oh wow. You can you can customize your own difficulty? Wow. Alright, so we got the standard, apprentice, and then novice. Oh gosh, no, that's the default anyways. So that's interesting. I could actually customize the game to my liking. I imagine game over rules, the default is if I die, I start from the beginning. I'm glad for something to have something like this for a demo is pretty interesting. Alright, I think I'm good. We'll just start with the normal difficulty. Why not?
The end. The one fate that awaits us all. For every beginning, there is a conclusion. For every birth, there must be a death. A once peaceful land is quickly seized and terrorized by the paramilitary organization ENE Corp. Enacting a large-scale multi-front invasion, they conquered armies across the world in little time. All this was accomplished thanks to the unquenchable ambitions of a single man named Lord Ruse.
No, this is a completely different series. This is Shinobi.
Unbelievable power. The world fell into despair. Only one threat to Ruse and ENE Corp remains: the Oboro clan, led by the legendary Joe Musashi. Throughout history, the Oboro clan has protected humanity from many calamitous threats. They would stop at nothing to destroy ENE Corp. However, the cunning Ruse is already well aware of the Oboro, their capabilities, and their location.
This game looks very pretty. Like, I already thought it was pretty, like, when we first saw it, but, like, now that we have it, it looks really, really pretty.
Hello, dear. Beautiful morning, isn't it? The warm breeze is especially nice. I can only hope it's this lovely on our son's blessed day. Well, your students can't become ninjas without you. Off you go. I'll be fine.
Alright, there we go. Yeah, I just want to be sure how much, oh, so there's a short hop, and there's like a long hop, okay. This is my attack button, got an auto combo, got an air attack. Ooh, it's like a giant ass anti-air. Oh, it's a dive kick. Okay. Finish my shurikens. Okay. I could do it on the ground. Okay, cool.
Sensei, good morning. I know you're busy leading the clan and all, but some of the class is struggling with that move you showed us. I mean, not me. But if you show me how it's done, I'll be sure to pass it on to the rest so we can do the Oboro clan justice. I'll be waiting at the far end of the field.
Do I like the new look of gum? I had to get used to it for a little bit, but yeah, I like it overall. Not my favorite, I'd say, but I like it. I think it's cool. I have no issues with it. It just definitely took so much. It just definitely took a little getting used to because she's so drastically different. Oh wow, yeah, I could actually mix up combos too. All right, so if that's light, medium, well, light, heavy. What if I do light, heavy? If that's possible, or light, heavy, or light. Okay. There's no heavy after the fourth one. Uh-oh.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Ooh, a pretty flower. Ripe for the picking.
Don't come any closer. Tell me who you are.
I am just one of many who serve Lord Ruse. Your whole clan dies today.
What?
Once the Oboro clan's out of the picture, nothing can stop Ian Corp from taking over the world. Say your prayers. I'm going to deliver your heads to Lord Ruse personally.
Okay, buddy.
You stand a chance.
Whoa! Rules. Ooh, nice dive kick.
He said they're here for the whole clan? Sensei, we have to hurry to the dojo.
Oh, I actually have like the shurikens are like actual resources. I see. Is this a checkpoint? Most likely. Yeah, it is a resource. Okay. Cool. Oh, I have a roll. Okay. Woo. Okay. All right. Wait, hold up. I think I'm definitely gonna like this game. Hold on. Ooh. I can combo after the dive kick. That's sick. That's actually really cool. That's the roll. There we go. Wait, is Billy Brown dead? I haven't even realized that. That sounds like something I would have known. Has he been gone for a while? Really? I'm seeing this dude in the background. I'm waiting for him to like pop out. Pop. God, they made me throw the shuriken on accident. Dude, hold on. Why is this game actually like saucy?
There's too many of them. I don't know if I can.
Ninja stance. Whoa. Shinobi execution. Your attack builds up execution gauges shown below enemy health bars. When one is full, you can perform a Shinobi execution. When the symbol appears above an enemy, L then RM1. Execute an enemy earns you bonus rewards. Kunai and heavy attacks build up the execution faster. Okay. Okay, I see now. Wait, did I just do an air roll? Hold on. I did do an air. Wow. Oh, he has an air dash.
You saved me. Right, no, I understand. As much as I want to help, I don't want to hold you back. I know. I'll go to your house and protect Naoko. You hurry to the dojo before it's too late for the other students.
He has a. Wow, look at how far this air dash goes. He only do it. Oh. Okay, wait. I can double jump, then air dash, or I can jump, air dash, wow. I can't believe it. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's sick. I like that.
Hey there, Shinobi. Welcome to the yokai shop. What are you buying? Anyway.
Does he not talk?
This new fella taking over. Ruse or something, was it? Well, he's mucking things up for everyone, even us yokai. He's been going around and flipping our guys to his own team. So I figure it's in both our interests if we strike up a little deal. How's that sound to you?
What do you got? Deliver a heavy slash from mid-air, dealing damage up close, projecting an enemy wave at long. Ooh. Press heavy after light for a quick double swing. Attack. Oh, an attack while rolling? That'd be nice. I'm actually get that. Press circle after landing an attack to. And it like pushes you back a little bit. That's not bad. No, I don't think so. I think he just has a. Alright. Don't touch that. Now I know. Oh, okay. I think he just has a really baggy hoodie. That's it. Should I push this? Does it seem like it? Movement in this game is actually really cool. I actually can't wait what that would look like. I actually can't wait to see what it'll look like when I start like really leveling him up. Fire Ninpo. Ignite enemies with a blast of fiery breath. Deals heavy damage. And then... Oh wow. Okay. Then a corresponding button, okay. Each Ninpo attack consumes a Ninpo cell. For your Ninpo cell by successfully attacking. Okay. So honestly, like, getting no hit runs in this game would be like ideal. And it keeps you at like a good flow state. Woo! Saucy.
May death reign.
Oh, okay. I see what's going on here.
Your piercing
wanna
eyes
avoid
hit the
that.
perfect targets. You'll regret facing me.
Man, get out of here. Can I drop kick this? Can't hit it below. I don't think I used my special move here. That'd be crazy. Whoa! Okay, alright, okay. For a second, I thought... What?
Another Oboro, ripe for the culling. Steal your soul, Shinobi. Soon you will join the rest of your clan.
Dark attacks. Dark attacks are both interruptible and undodgeable. Can be identified by a purple aura around the enemy. They are so overwhelmingly powerful. When you see one, get out of the way. Alright, cool. Ouch. Alright, so the time doesn't stop there. Wow. Nice. Power booster. Hit count 15, increases your overall damage dealt. Combo amulets. Grants new abilities and bonuses to your current ones. Passive amulets and combo amulets. Combo amulets provide their effects once you've reached their required hit count. The combo counter, the effects last as long as your combo counter does not reset. Hit counts are displayed in the descriptions, but they can differ depending on your accessibility settings. Once you take damage, the combo counter, that makes sense. You can quit by pressing the... I think that's supposed to be... Is this the share button in the DualShock? I don't even know. Alright. There we go. There we go. Ah, and I can set... They have quite a number of options here. And I'll get different weapons later. Okay. That's cool. Keep forgetting. I keep thinking that's like part of the foreground. Oh. I like their new looks too. They look pretty cool. I think I really like Beats look the most, and then Combo, he looks alright. I think he's just missing his boombox, but overall he looks cool. Ninja flip. Oh. Okay, that's pretty tight. You. While jumping towards the wall, oh, okay. Okay, there we go. Cool. I can just imagine what this game is about to ask of me soon. When you get to like further, oh, I thought it was gonna fall, honestly.
Shinobi, he can't leave alive.
Ouch. Ouch. There we go. No, damn it. It's okay. I think it's really... This game looks so nice. This honestly makes me want to go back to try out the other Shinobis, because this is really fun. And you got a stage map. No, don't. There we go. Why did I accidentally take a screenshot? That was my mistake. Alright, this is where... Wait. This is where I'm at right now. Wow, and I can fast travel. Interesting. Okay. Can I... Yeah, easy peasy. Ah. Honestly, I just wanted to like hit him. I didn't even want to cling to the wall. Oh! Let me go back. The enemy respawn? Okay. It's fine. Oh. Bop, bop. I gotta remember, it's L1 and R1 for the executions. I like Cube in both games. Cube's my favorite in general. How do I get down here? So speaking of, I did get another. It's a passive skill? No, it's not. Enhance fire and power and breathe fire longer for more powerful. I'll keep the damage buff. Ignite and damage all enemies on screen. So it's like a screen nuke. Ooh. Alright. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. That's a cool screen nuke. To refill your rage gauge, one is by taking damage, the other is by collecting rage orbs. Is there anything back here? Nothing I can buy yet.
Time to finish him off.
Oh my gosh! You are not gonna start shooting me, bro. Okay. Oh, brother. Wait, is there something up here? Is it giving me the option to climb up here? You gonna come down? Cool. Bop. There we go. Ooh, wait. Bop. 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 It's a good thing I was able to jump out of the hit stun.
Make death rain.
Wow, that still hit me. Heal. Interesting.
That's it. Let's see who comes out on top.
Now, when people get good at this game, the combos are gonna be so sick. Love.
You'll regret facing.
Nice. Oh yeah, there we go. I was wondering if there was something back here. Okay, I can finally get this. I'll get that. There we go. I should get a pass. I should get a passive skill soon. What in the?
So, the head of the Oboro clan finally shows his face. Well, some of it. Hello, Joe. How do you like what I've done with the place? With your village taken care of, there's nothing left in my way. Except for you. Such fury in your eyes. Tell me, how badly do you want to kill me? Warrior Ape!
Yes, Master. Right here.
Kill that man. Stop at nothing to ensure he doesn't leave. Joe Musashi, leader of the soon extinct Oboro clan. Farewell and best of luck.
It's a good thing they gave me a checkpoint before this fight.
Just so you know, I'm the one who burned down your village, destroyed your dojo, desecrated your sacred grounds, killed every last one of your students. And now, I'm going to wipe out the Oboro clan entirely. Prepare to die.
That's just extra motivation to kill you now. Wow, I should have flipped over him for that. Oh! Woo! Whoa! Oh, okay. Good thing I caught that in time. I didn't even realize.
Come on! What do you got?
There we go.
I'm gonna mangle you, little man.
I was gonna try it again.
You're gonna regret
I gotta avoid this. There we go. I'm surprised he even had enough airtime for that.
You're gonna regret never being born!
Alright, oh. No, what's up, Vic? Sword dive. Oh! Oh! Now I can actually go back to the levels and get those gates I didn't open. Okay. Wait, is that it? That's it? Oh man, I thought there was gonna be more. Well, they did say this was just this level, but damn, that actually left me wanting more. Oh man, that was actually really fun. That was actually really cool. Oh, this game looks. Oh, this game's gonna look crazy. I mean, I was already gonna buy this game. I already have it pre-ordered, but like, wow, that I kind of wish I had more. Damn, I kind of wish I could play it more. That wow, that's actually really cool. You can now play all the stages in arcade mode, aim for the top rank on every stage, and there's a ranking system. Why am I not surprised? Okay. Oh, oh, dude, congrats. Congrats on that. It's always nice being able to have a job. Wow. Uh Man, this game is really cool. Now I'm kind of sad that it was only just this level. All right. I guess I could just move it now, just talking about Yakuza. Hold on. Let me quickly just change it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was really just that. It was really just that one. It was really just that one level. I'm kind of shocked, but I'm gonna be honest. You know, just from what I played, this game's gonna be fun. I'm actually now I feel like very excited that I pre-ordered the game. It actually looks pretty damn cool. Damn, I really wanted to play more, honestly. But you know what? It's okay. This game comes out. This game comes out August 29th, actually. So, you know, that's 29. No, that's 30 days. Yeah, 30 days. I'll definitely be there. Will I stream the game day? You know what? I probably will stream the game day one. It's not like I'm doing anything. That was actually a pretty tight demo. I'm probably gonna go back and speed run this. This game, I believe this game will be on Nintendo Switch. I believe this game will be on Nintendo Switch too. I think so. Oh yeah, I did see from the partner direct. I'm gonna be honest. I was asleep for the partner direct, so I totally forgot it was happening. So it just completely skipped my mind. I was like, oh yeah, there was a partner direct today, and then I just the only thing that really caught my attention was that Pac-Man World 2 is getting a remake, and I love Pac-Man World 2. Actually, fantastic platformer. I don't think I finished it, but I absolutely loved it when I played. I got pretty far into the game. I was almost to the final boss, but I never caught up to it. But that game is wonderful. That is a fantastic game. And I'm so glad that game is getting a remake. So I definitely will be buying that game. The funny part I bought the funny part about Pac-Man World 2 repack is that it's actually going to come out the day after Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, leads me to believe that Pac-Man might be one of the DLC characters. I wouldn't be surprised, but it seems kind of likely that it's possible that he might be one of the DLC characters, which which is funny to think about because uh Pac-Man was a playable character in the Mario Kart arcade games. And so now there's a possibility that he might be in Sonic Racing Cross. I wouldn't be surprised because Sonic and Pac-Man have been collabing quite a bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to do another uh collab and it's just Pac-Man and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. It's, you know, that'll be something. All right, let me just get this window. Let me just get this window set up and then I can talk about it. Let's see. Um, oh yeah, there we go. Let me just there we go. Glad I had this uh glad I had this on deck. And then I'm actually gonna uh hold on. I'm actually gonna switch my mic real quick because I actually want this to be clear. I'm actually gonna make a video on this, so let me switch my mic real quick. Okay, there we go. Now I sound much clearer with this mic. Since it would be easier if I just had like a mic stand for this, but I don't because I don't have a desk. I literally stream from my bed because I don't really have the space for a desk just yet. So I usually always have to use a headset when I'm at least when I'm streaming. I always have to use a headset, but when I'm recording, it's a different story because uh, I'm just recording everything first and it's not live. But now I could actually use my super clear mic. It's been a while since I got this thing too. I can't even remember. Um, you know what? I'm gonna tweet this out since well the Shinobi the Shinobi demo was so quick, so I might as well tweet that out. Maybe people want to come in just to hear me yap about Yakuza. If not, then well, I'm gonna do it anyway. But I figured it'd be fun. Okay. And then I'm gonna hit start recording. I usually don't stream and record at the same time, but I think I'm gonna do it here. So, this is all just going to be off the top of my head, no script, no nothing, just raw feelings, I guess. So, I started this Yakuza journey back in, I don't know, it was some point last year. I actually got Yakuza 0 when it was on sale, but I was very on and off with it at the time. And then I finally beat Yakuza 0 on my birthday, or like just a few minutes before my birthday, which was in January 15th, right? So I beat it like a few minutes before the 15 hit on January 14th. And so after that, I decided, you know what? I'm going to play the next Yakuza game. And then when I finished Yakuza Kiwami, I was like, you know what? Now I want to play the rest of the series. And here we are now. I started it back in January. That's when I said, you know what? I'm going to play the rest of the series. And now here I am in July. And I actually managed to do it on top of working and such. So in between my job and stuff, I've just been playing non-stop Yakuza. And these were a lot of games. Thankfully, most of these were on sale. I think the only game that I got in full price was Pirate Yakuza, because I actually pre-ordered this game. So, everything else, I pretty much took advantage of any sale that Steam had, and I was able to play all of these games. And I have to say, there were a lot of high highs and a lot of frustrating lows, but it never got to a point where like any of the games were like truly awful. Like these two games right here, they're not awful, but I don't think they're very good. But like they're not like the worst games like ever published, or they're not like technically broken or anything. Actually, no, these are mostly polished, just filled with a lot of terrible decisions. So the worst a Yakuza game has gotten is pretty mid, and then you know we got the absolute peaks here. But all right, enough of the rambling. That was pretty much the journey, January to July. Now I've completed all of these games in under a year. I'm practically insane for doing that. But now I want to go into detail about each game. Initially, I was going to do it in story order, but then at some point I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna play whatever game I want. And then making that decision actually like shifted some of my opinions on certain games and affected them in a really weird way. I'm a detail it later, but I actually want to start from bottom to top here to like really explain how each game makes me feel. So, what I think was the worst game that I played from this series is Yakuza Kiwami 2. And Kiwami 2 is frustrating. Now, when I said I was going to play the rest of the series, my friends were warning me that Kiwami 2 was like really bad. Like really bad. And I was like, no way, it couldn't be that bad. And I just finished Kiwami, which like I really, really loved, as you can see. So I was really excited to see where Kiwami 2 would pick up after Kiwami, right? People were right. This game is it's not good. And I think it says something where I actually was initially streaming this game, and I was gonna play the game the whole way through on stream, and then I just stopped. I just stopped streaming it because I was just not having fun with the game. So that already sets a bad precedent for it. But like now that I've like finished it and I've tried to replay this game again, this game literally goes out of its way to make sure that you're not having fun. One of the main reasons I was just not having fun with Kiwami 2 was the combat. Now, playing in story order, the main problem with story order is that the jump between mechanics are going to be drastic. Like, Yakuza 0 and Kiwami 2 are like practically the same game, gameplay wise, and then Kiwami 2 is like the second early Dragon Engine game. So like, not only did I have to deal with like a complete engine change, I had to completely work with a brand new moveset and just overall game feel. And this game feels awful to play, I'm gonna be honest. One of my main issues with this game was the level up system. I absolutely hate the level up system in this game. Like, this game shares the same bones from Yakuza 6, so it just carried over this game's level up system, which I already think is the worst one. And so Kiwami 2 just practically took the same one and just they made some slight tweaks to it to where it's a little better, but it's still not good. This whole having 5 different stats and then using these 5 different stats to level up Kiryu, and then it's just like, it's simple stuff like leveling up the speed of his rush combo, leveling up his quick step, and I'm just like, stuff like that. And Kiryu just feels awful to play at like the beginning and even the middle of the game. But like, I wouldn't have a problem with this level up system much if it wasn't for the hunger system. And with the hunger system, you can only feed Kiryu so much until he gets full. And then the only way he drains his digestion is by getting into fights or like taking stomach medicine, right? So you just have to constantly get stomach medicine or constantly get into fights in order to drain his hunger meter. Because honestly, the best way to get EXP points, besides like doing more sub-stories and such, is by feeding Kiryu stuff. Especially when you get like combo meals. But the hunger system really tries to like limit that, and it makes it really annoying. Because especially with how the level up system is very spread out, if you don't have enough of one specific stat point, you're not going to be able to get a certain move. But then the other thing is, there's like the general stat buffs where you can buff his attack power, his defense, his heat gauge, all of that stuff. And maybe you want to put your focus on that, but when doing that, you may miss out on improving other stuff, like again, boosting his rush combo speed, or like boosting his abilities to do more damage with heat actions and such, you know? So having to deal with that with the level up system, it's already pretty frustrating, right? I don't like that. I really did not like how they handled leveling up. This was easily like the worst level up system that they've had in the series, and I'm glad that they stopped doing that right after Kiwami 2. But then the other problem with Kiwami 2 is that the story the story is not good. Like, I initially was like interested in this game's story, but then as chapters kept going on and then the Jingwon Mafia started to become like a main focus, I just stopped caring at some point, especially when it got a little out of hand, where suddenly like every character was the part of the Jingwon Mafia, you know? The only like small saving graces that I had for the story was this was the introduction of Daigo. And I really like Daigo. Daigo is really cool. Although for most of this game's runtime, he's getting his ass beat. I love Sayama. I think Sayama is a really cool character. I actually really like that they tried to give her a relationship with Kiryu. It may have been a little too fast because obviously the year prior to this game, Kiryu already lost Yumi, who was, his true love. Even though she really didn't get a lot of screen time, I at least really felt that Kiryu really cared for her. And then, when they tried to do the same thing with Sayama, it was there. I could believe it, but now I know it doesn't really go anywhere. And I think that's actually one of the more frustrating aspects of the entire series' plots, but that's not until later. But the thing that really pisses me off was the ending. I've never been more angry at a game's ending until this game. This game's ending genuinely frustrated me. I remember it so vividly. And one of the main things that really pissed me off was Terada, or Daijin Kim, as that's his real name. So it's the fact that he's part of the Jinwan Mafia, and he was going to kill Kiryu. He was going to have this bomb set up. All of this junk, right? And what makes it so frustrating is that not only does he get betrayed himself, right? But Kiryu left his duties to this guy, and now this guy was going to kill him and blow up the entirety of Kamurocho. It made Kiryu look really stupid for making that decision back in Kiwami 1. Really, really stupid. And then the whole twist that the bomb wasn't even real, it was a fake bomb. And so I see Kiryu almost on the brink of death, him and Karo about to blow up. Actually, you know what? Karo could have literally just picked up Kiryu and probably get him out, right? She totally could have. But those two decided to just make out, while they believe that the bomb is going to explode. And Haruka is just watching in the helicopter with Date, about to see her father figure about to blow up, and he's not making any effort to get up and try to escape. He's too busy making out with this woman, and they're all looks like we really disappointed Haruka. And I'm just what are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, right? It's the fact that the bomb is fake. That's the part about the ending that really pisses me off. The fact that the bomb is fake is the worst part. Oh my gosh, and I totally forgot about Ryuji. I like Ryuji. I wish he had more screen time, but I thought he was cool. I mean, he's just literally just a guy who wants to prove that he's stronger than Kiryu. You know what? It's simple, but he got the job done, and he has a lot of aura, right? He talked a lot of shit. That's what I like about Ryuji. But oh my god, that ending was so bad. It was so bad. I don't have a lot to say about it as a remake because I have not played the original Yakuza 2. But I do know that they just removed a lot of things from Kiwami 2, which was very, very strange, and I don't know why they did it. But clearly, I don't like this game. But I do have some genuine compliments about. I do have some genuine compliments about the game. I think this game has some of my favorite sub stories in the series. They have a lot of good ones here, Fake Kiryu. The whole the modeling one is really funny, and then also the voice acting one is really great. I genuinely think Kiwami 2 has some of the best sub stories in the series, and it's just a shame that the rest of the game is just frustratingly not good. It's just not. It really goes out of its way to make sure that you're not having fun, and then on top of that, the story is very boring and very poorly written. I just I'm not a fan. I'm personally not a fan of Kiwami 2. It was easily the worst game I played so far. And honestly, I was pretty confident. I was pretty confident that there was going to be no other game that was going to be worse than Kiwami 2. And it actually stuck. Now that I've played all of these games, I've actually stuck to this opinion. Yeah, I don't think there's really like no reason that I would ever want to go back to this game, because there's nothing for me to really go back to, whether it's the story or the gameplay, because I don't like either. Unless I want to like mod the game. This game does have cool mods, which makes sense because this game is it's not fun. It's not fun. So yeah, Kiwami 2 is my least favorite Yakuza game. Period. I don't like this game. I really don't like it. I appreciate you putting Yakuza Kiwami above Yakuza 0. I love Yakuza 0 for the RPG, but if it's story and sub stories, Kiwami takes it. I actually have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about Kiwami, and why I like it over 0. But it's gonna be a little while, but we'll get to that. But it's funny because I didn't think there was actually gonna be someone who actually likes Kiwami over Yakuza 0 as well. So I felt like the odd man out here. Didn't mean to do that. So it makes me feel less weird about it, at least. So the only other game that's in the C tier here is Yakuza 5. I don't like Yakuza 5. I actually had to sit and think about it for quite a little bit. Initially, I actually had Yakuza 5 in the B tier. I mean, it was still like my second least favorite game, but I actually had it in the B. I actually had it in the B tier initially, but like the more I thought about it, I actually don't like Yakuza 5. I actually don't like Yakuza 5, and it was actually with this game where I started really thinking about how mechanic changes can really make or break a game. Despite how similar a lot of these games are, like the changes they make can be so drastic that the entire game just like shifts dramatically. So, you know, this game comes directly after Yakuza 4. And what Yakuza 4 had stuff like the wall bounding combos and such, which I actually think was like a big a big part of why I really love Yakuza 4's combat. I love all the wall bound stuff and that you were able to do, and everything felt so fluid with all the characters, whether it was Akiyama, whether it was Kiryu or Tanimura. Saejima, I've always been very indifferent to, but I even thought Saejima felt good, but like the game feel of Yakuza 4 just felt better, right? In Yakuza 5, they removed a lot of the cool wall bound stuff and changed a lot of the properties of characters like Kiryu, Akiyama, and Saejima, and I thought it was for the worse. I think just the removal of things like wall bounding like really made characters like Akiyama not really fun. I think they removed a lot of the sauce of the combat from Yakuza 5. Not to say that everyone feels awful, right? There's like none of these characters like really feel awful. They just don't feel as interesting to play. Like the coolest thing about Kiryu in Yakuza 5 is the fact that he has the bounding throw loops, which is because they removed heat being drained from bounding throws, so now he's just able to loop bounding throws and he gets an infinite off that, which is pretty funny. Saejima pretty much felt the same, but now with the new red heat stuff, you know, he's able to do the giant swing. The giant swing is really cool. And then I also like the big shockwave attack. Those are really cool. Akiyama, it actually pissed me off what they did to Akiyama in this game. He is not fun. And his little like air juggle thing, I don't even think is that good either, especially because it doesn't even work on bosses. So it's like, if it doesn't really work on bosses, why would I really want to use this? It just didn't feel worth it in my opinion. Now, Shinada is actually really cool. He's not one of my absolute favorites in general as like a playable character, but I think Shinada is really cool. I think building a character who is like a weapon specialist is actually like really cool. And he ended up being like my second favorite character to play behind Kiryu. But to be honest, like in terms of like combat, because of the removal of mechanics like the wall bound combos and stuff, it just didn't feel as fun. Like my favorite character from Yakuza 4 got neutered in the gameplay. Then there's a character I'm already indifferent to, which is Saejima. The new character is pretty cool, and then Kiryu, Kiryu was just Kiryu, but now he has a loop. That's very funny. And then, of course, the other big thing is Haruka. This is her first and only playable appearance, and her whole thing is the all the idol stuff, and hers is just a rhythm game. Now, this may sound weird to me as someone who likes Sonic and who is so used to things changing that I don't mind changes to the gameplay as long as the gameplay is like actually like really fun and well made. It's not like Haruka's sections are not well made. They are, it's a simple rhythm game. It works, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't really think this game needed Haruka to be playable. I mean, it's cool that it happened, but I honestly could have done without it. Her section just really didn't feel, as engaging as such. And I'm not like a huge rhythm game person, but even then, like there's nothing like super complicated with any of like Haruka's section of the story, right? And she's sharing it with Akiyama, so that also hurts her in some ways. And then when I talk about the story, I'm gonna be honest. This is another case where the story got disengaged for me, and it's because it's like paced very weirdly. Like I think at least Kiryu's section, it was a good start. Started off slow and then it started like slowly picking up, and then when it got to the end of Kiryu's section, there was like a big climax for it. So, it felt like they did Kiryu right, but then we get to Saejima, and I think Saejima is easily the worst part of Yakuza 5 because it's the jail section is just way too long. And then on top of that, we're in this dream sequence like twice in this I forgot the name of, was it Sapporo? Yeah, I think it's Sapporo, right? We're in this dream sequence of Sapporo, right? We're doing that for like a few minutes, right? A couple minutes, right? Twice actually. So it felt very unnecessary. Then we get the breakout, and then we do the bear boss fight, which wasn't very good. And then we get to the hunting section at like the third part. Why is the hunting section so long? Why is the hunting section so... And I didn't even think that was necessary to have. Honestly, it's there just to have a tutorial of the hunting section. And, all these games have something like that, but the hunting is so boring. I don't like hunting in Yakuza 5. I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't really get in tune with a lot of the side content with Yakuza 5. And they kept forcing it on you. They really wanted you to play the side content for Yakuza 5, and I was just not interested at all. But like Saejima is like easily the worst part, and then Haruka and Akiyama is sharing a story section. Akiyama really doesn't need to be in the game. He has no real reason to, but he's there and he's not really doing anything, so you might as well just drag him along. Shinada was just the best part of the story, easily. His story was actually really well done, and I actually related to him in a number of ways. Like, Shinada is definitely the highlight of Yakuza 5 story, but besides that, I also just didn't like the villains. what was the name of the damn police officer? I don't even remember. That's the problem. I don't even remember. He really left no impact on me. And then there was Kondo, the big guy that Akiyama had to fight. It's very boring. I mean, he gets the job done, he's a big bad guy, but like he's not really interesting at all. And I also just thought his moveset was also very boring. And then like why is I don't understand why they decide to go with Aizawa as like the twist villain. It really it made no sense, especially when you go through Aizawa from the beginning to how he was in the story and then where he ends up now. It's like, wait a minute, why did this happen? Why am I even fighting you right now? This makes zero sense. I think that really soured me on Aizawa as like a villain. I don't like Aizawa at all. Like the only villain, well, he's not really a villain, he's more of an antagonist, but like the only one I kind of really liked was Baba, because I really liked his connection with Saejima, and I think that was like a huge point to his story, like his connection with Saejima and how like Saejima really affected him positively, despite him being on the other side, right? So I like Baba at least, but I couldn't really get into Yakuza 5. I think it was too bloated for its own good. Especially when you consider random stuff like the Victory Road qualifier. Having to do all that just to unlock the arena is really dumb. I mean, at least one thing you can say about Yakuza 5 is that Yakuza 5 does have a lot of content, that's for sure. Yakuza 5 is very rich on content, so you can't say Yakuza 5 doesn't have anything to do, because Yakuza 5 surely has a lot you could do, but whether or not it's fun is up to debate. So, yeah, when I sat down and thought about it, I just ended up really not liking Yakuza 5 in the slightest. Now we get to the B tier. The B tier are games that I generally think are good, but they have something that really holds them back. Yakuza 6. The funny part about Yakuza 6 is this was the game I was looking forward to the least, because I played Kiwami 2 earlier, and so knowing that Kiwami 2 came from this game, I was already like, oh god, this game must be terrible. Now, here's the thing about Yakuza 6, right? Yakuza 6 is a game that is entirely carried by its story. It is. Like, all the complaints that I had about Kiwami 2's gameplay, you could pretty much apply it to Yakuza 6. I don't like the level up system. I'm not a fan of Kiryu's moveset. I don't like the hunger system. All of that stuff applies here, right? But like, the only reason I was still motivated to want to finish Yakuza 6 was because of the story. I actually really liked the story of Yakuza 6. It actually surprised me. So the main thing I really like about Yakuza 6 was Kiryu and his relationship with the Yomi Alliance, the Hiroshima Yakuza clan there. I actually like his relationship with those guys, with like with Naganuma especially, and Yuta, who, we find out that that's Haruka's well, not fiance, but that's baby daddy, I guess, because Yuta is responsible for Haruto, and Haruto's cute little baby like seeing Kiryu being the uncle and stuff. I think it's all like very sweet stuff. This game really has character interactions like very, very high, which I really like about this game. And also, I actually kind of, well, I don't like all the antagonists. I think like Iwami is like not like particularly amazing, but he's just the right amount of evil where like he works, he does his job well. Somiya I actually really, really liked as an antagonist. And I thought what happened to him was quite a shame. He was still kind of shitty. But like I actually thought he was a very engaging antagonist. You skip Yakuza 6? No, I wouldn't be. I'm not surprised. I don't blame you, honestly. I honestly was planning to skip Yakuza 6 myself, but I was like, I'm already in too deep with this journey. I have to finish it. At the very least, I ended up really liking the story of this game, and the ending actually hit me. It hit me a little bit. Seeing Kiryu get shot, protecting Haruka and Yuta the same way Yumi did for Haruka back in Yakuza Kiwami. I think the parallel there was actually like really cool, and it got me pretty good. I like it. But what else is there about Yakuza 6? Oh yeah, the thing about Yakuza 6 that this game was also rushed because not all of Kamurocho is actually available for some reason. Like the Champion District is completely blocked off, and then like Kamurocho Hills and such, like the whole Hobo Camp, or like was the Hobo Camp, is now completely just blocked off, and you can't go into the hotel district. I don't know like the full details of the development, but I think it really hurt like the world of Yakuza 6. I at least thought Onimichio was fine, or Onomichi. I thought that world was fine, but definitely not one of my favorites of the series. So all I can really say about Yakuza 6 is that the story is very good. It was very engaging. That it at least makes playing through the game a little bit worth it, even though I think this is definitely like the worst game gameplay wise overall, right? So now we get to Yakuza 3. Hold on, let me get some water real quick. Oh man, I can't wait to talk about Yakuza 7. But okay, Yakuza 3. Yakuza 3 is a conflicting game for me. The only thing I've heard about Yakuza 3, like this is also like very conflicting amongst the community, and the whole Blockuza 3 meme. So the thing about Yakuza 3 is a very charming game, but like there's a lot about this game that really holds it back from being like really good, like really, really good. So I want to get this out of the way. I think this game is hideous to look at. This game came out in 2007. Yeah, this game is butt ugly to look at. Like I don't know how everyone in this game just looks so ugly. Like the only character that's like kind of good looking model wise is like Mine, but like everyone else just looks like creatures in this game. This game, and even Yakuza 4 and Dead Souls, these three games are hideous to look at for their time. But like, you know what? I can excuse that. But the main problem I have with Yakuza 3 is the combat. And of course, when it comes to like the AI block, the AI is like very defensive in this game. For some reason, they're like extra defensive in this game, and so it can kind of make some fights really drag on for a little bit. But like, that's not really my issue. I've always thought like Yakuza combat was like heavily focused or on like with punishing and stuff, right? But here's my main issue with Yakuza 3's combat. My main issue with Yakuza 3 combat has to do with the damage. Kiryu's damage is like extremely low in this game. Like extremely low. Like even heat actions do like very little damage. They do noticeable damage, but like when you combine that with like hitting enemies with like rush combos and stuff, like you realize like you don't really do a lot of damage in this game. Unless you, of course, are at low health and such, which you always get a damage buff when you're at low health. But like, man, Kiryu like does no type of damage in this game, and I think the worst part is, Yakuza 3 is one of those games where, like, depending on how you go about playing it, it really shifts your opinion, because I definitely was like, I had full investment in the story that I didn't really do a lot of sub stories. I definitely didn't do a lot of sub stories in this game. So I missed out on some stuff like the Kamaki abilities. That was a poor decision in hindsight, because I'm gonna be honest, without the Kamaki abilities, I think Kiryu controls like very, very clunkily. He's not as fun. I think having something like the Kamaki parry changes so much. Because I really think like having like the Kamaki parry and like all the other Kamaki abilities like really starts to make Kiryu feel good. Because without the Kamaki abilities, I think Kiryu just doesn't feel all that great. I think they're like super required to have in this game in order to have any amount of fun with like Yakuza 3's combat. Because once you have a fully leveled up Kiryu, he actually feels really great. He actually feels like very fun to play. But like without it, he's just like, he's just he's like very, very rough in general. The damage, at least with me, is understandable since I never unlocked the finishing heat actions or train with Kamaki, but even with the upgrades, you do know. Yeah, it's just like, in general, Yakuza 3 is like a very low damaging game, and I think that's really like my main problem with like the combat, more so than the blocking. Like, the blocking, I can get around that, but like the overall doing no damage is like, bleh. But like, much like with Yakuza 4, which we're about to talk about soon, there are things like wall bounds and stuff, which those really help, in the damage department, because when you're hitting enemies with like wall bounds and such, or like any like ground bound stuff, like those are like really cool to do, and they're very fluid. It makes the combat feel more fluid, especially more fluid than Yakuza 5. But like, I don't really start having fun with Yakuza 3's combat until I fully level up Kiryu, and I think that's a problem, because in some games you don't really need to fully level up Kiryu for him to start like feeling good, But I think in Yakuza 3, it feels like you have to level up. You really have to level up Kiryu to max level in order to get like full enjoyment of the game's combat, which is a little bit of a problem for me. At least the story, I very much enjoyed the story. I really love, Kiryu being a father figure to all these kids in the orphanage. Those are my favorite parts of the game, Kiryu and his family in Okinawa. I love that. And especially after Yakuza 1 and Yakuza 2, Kiryu deserved like some semblance of happiness, right? But then you actually get to like the actual like Yakuza conflict, and I think they kind of fumble there a little bit. There are just some things that are just like not well explained, like for example Joji Kazuma. Like, obviously we just find out that Shintaro just has a identical twin brother who just works for the CIA or whatever they're called in Yakuza 3. And then you have villains like Hamazaki, right? You see him for like 2 to 3 cutscenes, right? He's the big villain. Like, he's the game frame him as like one of the big villains. Hell, you see him blow a guy up in his own restaurant. Like, you would believe that he's probably going to be like some sort of crazy villain, right? But then he just disappears. He just disappears into the end of the game just so he can stab Kiryu. And you're like, wait a minute. That's it? Where were you the rest of the story? Like, he literally just suddenly like disappears and he doesn't appear again until the rest of the story. And then there's Mine. I actually used to have Mine as like in my top tier of like Yakuza antagonists, but then I kind of brought him down a tier just because, you know, everything kind of comes at the very end. We don't really find out, you know, why Mine does what he does until like the very end of the game. And while I think like, you know, the explanation is like it's nice, but like to have it all be the end of the game, it just felt a little rushed for Mine. He didn't feel as fleshed out as he could have been, right? Although I really think he was, I really liked when he was like, when the focus shifted on him as being the main bad guy, because like when you see him slap Haruka and get the orphanage like shut down, I think like that's like more motivation. That's like more motivation to like really kick his ass. I like when he was like super evil, but you know they try to shift it, you know, at the very end because of his feelings for Daigo, which, you know, I think that is really nice, but I liked it more. I kind of liked it more when he was like really evil. That's what made me like really like Mine, because he was kind of like a reflection of Kiryu. Like they had similar upbringings, but they clearly went like different. They went like different paths, right? So I at least thought Mine was cool, but I overall like the story of Yakuza 3, but it's messy in a lot of aspects, and I think it could have been better. But I would say that like overall, I have a lot of respect for what Yakuza 3 was trying to do, but some things just didn't land for it. But I would say I would definitely play Yakuza 3 over any of these previous games easily, because Yakuza 3 does have more things that I like about it. I'm not saying I don't like Kiryu bonding with the kids, but I want to see rights not take care of. See, it's funny. It's interesting you brought that up, because there are some points in the story where they're like where like the Yakuza conflict goes to a complete halt because they want to go back to focusing on Kiryu taking care of his kids, and they actually didn't like pace that very well. Oh, fights, yeah. They definitely didn't like pace that very well. It's all scattered kind of sloppily, but yeah, I kind of felt the same way too. But you know, I just have a lot of respect for Yakuza 3, especially after seeing some of the advanced combos that you could do in this game. This game has a lot of cool tech and stuff, but like for like a casual person, it's probably not the most fun game in the world. But I appreciate what it was like trying to do. So Yakuza Dead Souls. I'm gonna be honest, I think I like Dead Souls more than I let on, but like this game is very funny to me. So obviously the only thing I've heard about Dead Souls before I played it was just how this game bombed very horribly here in the West, and practically almost killed the series here in the West. That's all I ever heard about it, you know. And you know, it made this shift. This is not a beat 'em up. This is a third person shooter. This is a third person shooter, a zombie shooter at that. So it's funny with this game. How I view Dead Souls is like, it's like Dead Souls is like bad Resident Evil 4 / Resident Evil 5, like kind of like those games. It's like it controls it controls kind of similarly to those games, but like it worse in a number of ways possible. Like for example, the camera in this game is fucking awful. Oh my god, the camera in this game is terrible, especially when you go to Little Asia when Ryuji section. Oh my god, the camera is so bad there. I couldn't believe how bad the camera is. And then when it comes to like the gun combat, it's not horrible, but it's very clunky. Obviously, you can run and shoot, and this game has an auto aim, right, for running and shooting, at least for running and shooting, and it's the auto aim is not always accurate, and then you have like strafing, and you have like strafing in shooting where you just walk in slowly and you can dodge roll and such. I mean, that works, at least. That works as it should. You know, it's not a problem. And then you have the first person where you have to go completely stop and aim for your headshots and stuff. And that's it's fine. I mean, I've played RE5. RE5 kind of acted like the same way with how it handled first person shooting, and it wasn't that bad. So I was able to get used to like the shooting mechanics here, right? And then when you're not doing the usual shooting and such, you have like the normal Yakuza stuff. You can still do mini games and sub stories, all that, right? This game actually has a bigger focus on building stuff, right? So, which is why like you collect materials for weapons and such, and for killing zombies. And like this game has a big focus on that. I actually kind of like that. You know, it actually works like really well. It's nothing is too overly complicated with like the weapon building. So like it was pretty easy to understand. I actually found myself doing the weapon building quite often in this game, just to make the shooting a little easier. The other thing is this game actually has Yakuza 4's orbs system, which I already think is like the best level up system they've done in the series. So the level up system also being good in this game actually was to its benefit. So it made things a little smooth when I was able to get my heat gauge up, and have better accuracy with my guns. That all worked out and such, right? The other thing that I'm not really a fan of with this game runs like pure dog shit. This game can barely handle 30 FPS. Which is what it's locked to, right? This game can barely handle 30 FPS, and this game frame drops a lot. This game drops frames a lot, and doing heat actions, the game has to like stop every time to like register that the heat action is happening, and I think that's very funny. This game was dying on the PS3, and I couldn't believe that it was running as badly as it was. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how is the PS3 like this ass? Well, part of it can't be just the PS3. It's just like the game itself is just not well optimized. But like, it definitely affects the game's performance quite a bit, because they throw a lot of zombies at you. They love to throw huge hordes of zombies at you, especially towards the end of the game. And they know that the game can't really handle it, but they continue to do it anyway, which is really funny. Which is really funny that it does that. But I do love the story. I love the story so much. If you've ever played like any of the House of the Dead games, this is really the Dead Souls story is really like reminiscent of that. And what I really love about Dead Souls story is that they play it very seriously. Like every character is like kind of acting appropriately to like the zombie apocalypse. There's no like, silly haha jabs or like fourth wall breaks, but they actually play it straight. Like if we take into account all of the events that happened in the previous game, and then suddenly a zombie apocalypse just happened, they play it straight, and like they follow through. They followed through with it, as Dead Souls was like in like an actual continuation of the series. And I really like the fact that Ryuji is like a main character, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Ryuji should have died in Kiwami 2 in the first place. So seeing him in this game was like a treat, and he like at least like writing wise, I thought he was like really cool. He really tries to. Yeah, I think the fact that he just tries to like be like a normal civilian, and then he just is brought back because his oath brother just wanted to get revenge on Kiryu. I think the villains in this game is hilarious. The fact that the main reason this zombie apocalypse is happening anyway is because Nikaido was upset that Ryuji lost the fight to Kiryu, and so his next course of action was to be like, you know what, I'm gonna cause a zombie apocalypse. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, I think that's so funny that you could be so petty about your man's getting beat in a fight that you just want to cause a zombie apocalypse and you don't care what happens to anyone else. I think Nikaido is like one of my favorite villains in the series, just for the pure pettiness. He's not even like a deep character, but I respect the grind of being so petty. And also, this game has one of the most satisfying deaths of a villain, because the main villain, Didi, who was actually responsible for making the vaccine in the first place, well, not the vaccine, just the virus in the first place, you know, they died a horrible death crashing into a horde of zombies with a helicopter that blows them up. I mean, I couldn't think of a more satisfying death for a villain. I find Dead Souls a very charming game. It's a very clunky and messy game, but I find it very charming in what it was trying to do. And at least like what they wanted to do with this game was interesting enough. If they could clean up the gun combat and like fix the frame rate, actually make it smooth, I think this game can actually be like really fun. Genuinely, I think this game could actually be really fun if they cleaned up the combat and also like fix the camera issues, fix the frame rate issues. This game would actually be like pretty damn solid, actually. Really, really solid. I actually have a fondness for Yakuza Dead Souls. Honestly, I hope they won't do it. They won't ever do it. But I honestly hope at some point in the future, this game gets like remade or remastered, just ported. I'm kind of sad that it gets stuck on the PS3, because if you don't have a PS3, your other option is emulating, and PS3 emulation is it's rough, and this game actually crashed like 17 times during my initial playthrough, so that was something. I really hope this game gets ported soon, because I would really love to play this game when it's well optimized, but they won't do it. But you know what, that's okay. Alright, the last game in the B tier is Yakuza 4. Initially, I actually had Yakuza 4 in the A tier. Like, I actually thought like Yakuza 4 was a little better than I initially thought, but then, you know, when I thought about it more, I was like, you know what, B tier is the best spot for Yakuza 4. So Yakuza 4 is actually the inverse of Yakuza 6, where the gameplay of Yakuza 4 is so good it makes up for the shitty story. Like I was already like talking about it when I talk about like Yakuza 5 and what they took away. Yakuza 4 has some of the most fun combat in a Yakuza game for me. Like every character here like felt good to play. And then, you know, there's the stuff like the wall bounding combos and such. You can do a lot of cool things with all the characters. And then also this game, once again, has the best level up system with the orb system. So I really like what I really like about the orb system is that with the exception of some moves, depending on how you want to spend your orbs, you can choose to like hold them for like certain skills that are like 4 orbs, and then once you get those 4 orbs, you can actually get them way earlier than you probably intended to. But like I think stuff like that is really cool, that they allow for freedom for your level up system, which is why like I saved my orbs just to get like all of Akiyama's quick step cancel stuff, and it made him so much more fun to play in the early game. like having stuff like that is like very appreciated. All the characters here are like really fun to play. And this is like my favorite, and this is like my favorite version. This is my favorite version of we'll call it like dragon style Kiryu. Yakuza 4 has my favorite version of dragon style Kiryu. Akiyama is one of my favorite characters in general to play in combat. Tanimura is up there. Tanimura is very much up there. I was a little shaky on how much fun I had with Tanimura, but he ended up being another one of my favorite characters. And then again, I'm indifferent to Saejima, but like he's fine. He works really well with Yakuza 4's combat. Also, what's up, Massa? So combat stuff is really good. I like a lot of the side content in Yakuza 4. The only thing that's like other dog shit about this game is the story. The story of this game is very, 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 very bad. And it's funny, for the longest time before I played Yakuza 4, all I kept hearing about was the rubber bullets, and I was like, what the hell are these rubber bullets about? And now that I know, wow, that is fucking stupid. That's all I really have to say. That is really, really fucking stupid. And I think that whole twist with the rubber bullets really hurt Saejima's character arc and story arc, because I thought Saejima's character arc was like really, really good. Well, not really good, because I don't want to talk about the whole Haruka cutscene and all of that. That we could ignore that we could ignore. But like, I at least thought, Saejima really had something going for him, and then like the rubber bullets twist happens, and then it really hindered his story pretty bad. I don't really have much to say about Akiyama's story, besides like Saejima's sister looking like an ex of his, and he really wanted to get to the bottom of that. But like, he really didn't have like a huge role in the story either, besides like his money getting taken away by Kido. And then Tanimura is part of the whole conspiracy because his father was killed during all of that, so like, he has some stake in it. Kiryu shouldn't even be in the game in the first place. He really shouldn't have. Like, he really had no business being in the story. Actually, he could have avoided getting into the conflict entirely, right? But he decided to just enter himself in the game when he just really didn't need to be there. So he really had no purpose. All of this nonsense with the whole rubber bullets incident and the police chief Munakata and being a whole part of it. Arai is very dumb. Like he was a policeman posing as a Yakuza, but then he really got into the business, and he started getting into this conspiracy too. But then also he didn't really agree with what was going on, so he was gonna betray them anyway. I'm probably like really fucking that up, but like I don't even know why Arai did what he did. And then Daigo, I'm a little more lenient on, because I think with Daigo, it was like, that was like his test of like, can he really run the Tojo clan? And he was really having doubts about it. And then, Munakata and Arai took advantage of that, to make him believe that like their way was going to be a way to move the Tojo clan forward. And you know what? That's some leniency I can kind of give it, but like, I still don't think Daigo should have been a final boss villain in the first place. It made no sense. Literally, I think the finale is really like the only cool thing I can say about Yakuza 4's story. It just sucks that like the final boss with Tanimura is the worst boss in the series, easily. That boss fight is pure dog shit, and I can't believe they gave that to a character who doesn't really have a lot of AoE heat actions, except for the one, and it's just, the boss fight sucks. I hated it. I very much hated it, especially after replaying it. I very much hated it. It sucks. It's not good. But Yakuza 4, in terms of gameplay, amazing. Well, not amazing. It's really good. It's really good. It's really great. Really good gameplay. Very shitty story. Probably the worst story in the series, easily. Wow. Man, talking too much really hurts my throat sometimes. So okay, now we're moving on to the A tier games. The A tier games I really like. I really like the A tier games. They have a few things that bother me, that prevents them from being like fantastic, but like I still think these games are really good. Starting with Gaiden. This game I actually was really excited. I was actually really excited to play Gaiden in my journey, and it ended up like hitting all my expectations pretty much. The fact that this game was made in 6 months, and you know, it ended up impressing me the way it did, was very, very much surprising. I would say the main highlight for this game for me was the story. Since this game is like a sequel to like Yakuza 6, so like it like directly follows that game up, and seeing what's happening with Kiryu and what he's doing with the Daidoji, I think are all like really like interesting stuff, because the reason Kiryu is doing this is to keep his family safe, right? And so he's pretty much like a lapdog to the Daidoji. The only stupid part of the stupid part is, you know, Kiryu is a horrible fucking liar, and I think, I don't know if it was Kiryu who decided this or the Daidoji, but naming him Joryu, like you guys couldn't even try just a little bit to make him feel, you know, more secretive. Like, and literally everyone calls out Kiryu immediately. They immediately notice him. Like, it's like, you're not slick, bro. Like, he can't lie. He can't lie to save his life. I think that's like the only ridiculous part of the story. But I think the conflict between Kiryu wanting to protect his family, but also being forced to work as a lapdog for the Daidoji. I think it was very interesting for like most of the game, because you was really worried about what was gonna happen to Kiryu or the Morning Glory kids. So I liked how they kept the suspense for that. But then it kind of shifts to dealing with Nishitani the Third, and dealing with Nishitani the Third, and you know, he does the job. He's not very interesting, but like he gets the job done. So most of the story kind of goes on halt until like the very, very end, where I think that is one of the best finales in a Yakuza game, period. The whole thing from fighting Shishiro and Nishitani in Yokohama to like the very, very end, where you have the great disillusion, the final fight with Shishiro, the very tearful moment with Kiryu seeing the Morning Glory kids again. Very heartbreaking, but like that entire finale was like really special. So like Gaiden is a case where it has a pretty interesting beginning. The middle is kind of but then the end it all comes together very nicely, very wonderfully, and it's great. Now, gameplay wise, I like it in general, but I have a couple of grievances, and most of the grievances come with the agent style. The agent style is not good. It is super gimmicky. And I mean, we've had gimmicky styles before, like Breaker and Slugger. They're very gimmicky, right? But like when it comes to like gimmicks, like Agent was like the most gimmicky, and I think it still is the most gimmicky, and it feels like the least fun to play. You don't do a lot of damage. You don't do a lot of damage in Agent style. The gadgets themselves, the only ones that are like really good is like the web, because not only does it target like multiple enemies, but like it also like removes weapons from them, which is really good. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work on. It's pretty much useless on bosses, so you never really want to use it on bosses, anyways. And then there's the cigarette. The cigarette takes too long to like set up, and you're just gonna end up getting smacked for it. And then you also have the jet boosts. The jet boosts are actually pretty good. The jet boosts are great for like crowd clearing purposes. And then the drone, the drone kind of just does its job. Like, it's not amazing. You can hit it in one hit. Even with the durability, most enemies can knock it out in one hit, which, kind of makes it useless. Although the extreme heat actions out of the extreme heat action ability out of the drone is actually very usable, so I'll give it that. And speaking of like the extreme heat, sometimes when you're using it with Agent, the main attacks just don't work. I've had a lot of times where like the main extreme heat action from Agent just sort of like whiffs its like heavy attack buttons for some reason, and no, that's the light attack. Yeah, it whiffs like the light attack for some reason, and you can't really control where you wanna use it. It sort of just hits any enemies it feels like, but like most of the time it just ends up whiffing. So it's not great in that regard either. And then we have the Yakuza style, aka the Dragon style in this game. It's kind of on par with Kiwami 2. It actually is a fine style. It works really well. Me personally, I just don't like Kiryu's Dragon Engine style in general already, so I'm already like very mixed on it. But my main problem with the Dragon style in Gaiden is that it's too slow. It's actually like, this is the slowest Kiryu has ever felt with the Dragon style. It almost feels like he's in Beast style, right? And this game doesn't really have any combo speed upgrades. So by the beginning of the game and by the end of the game, Kiryu is pretty much the same in combo speed, and I think that hurts him in a lot of places where he just sometimes he just feels like too slow, so you don't feel like you're getting a lot of hits in. It makes Yakuza 1 Kiryu feel like Yakuza 2 Kiryu. Like, this game's Dragon style is just really slow, but it is really powerful. Like, it has like the 3 beast hit combos. As all of its finishers are chargeable. It has triple finishers actually. So it has a lot of utility. And then its heat actions out of extreme heat are some of the strongest in the game. So like it is very powerful, but like I just think like the fact that it's so slow is it makes it feel like very awkward to use. So it's not my least favorite version of the Dragon style. No, that goes to Zero's Legend style, which I don't like it. But like it's the lack of a combo speed boost really hurts it. The other thing about this game, this is not really like a negative towards it. It's actually a positive, because I really like a lot of the side content in this game. Both Gaiden and Pirate Yakuza are like very big on the side content. Like that's supposed to be like the main selling point for most of these games when it comes to the side content, because you also need to do the side content in order to like really level up your character. So this game has a lot you can do from all the mini games in Sultan Bori, and then all the mini games in the castle, and then it also has the Colosseum, and I think this is my is this my favorite version? I think it is. I think it's definitely in the top 2 of my favorite arenas in this game. Cause I really do. I do like the. I partially do like the team building aspect of the game. Cause you have Hell Team Rumble, so you get to build your own team of characters that you want to take into the battle. I think that's really cool. There's a few things that I wish they could have like worked on a little better, like making the grind for leveling up characters not so grindy. But I do like how you can you can essentially play anyone you want in the arena. Now they won't have they won't have like full move sets. Like for example, Kaido is one of the characters that you can get in this game. But you won't be getting Kaido's entire move set from the Kaido files. No, he is very much stripped down. That all he really has is his light combo and like one heavy combo and like one heavy finisher. So you don't get like, you know, everyone's full move set. But the fact that you can play as characters like Gary Buster Holmes for the first time and only time is really cool. Like the fact that they even allowed that to happen is really nice. But although like most of the characters have like super generic movesets, so it probably wasn't too hard to do, right? But I think like that aspect of this game's Coliseum is like really good. Also, you can customize Kiryu to make them have like different costumes, and you know, you can make them look nice. They gave you a decent amount of options, but I wish they could have had like just a little bit more. You can't even get like his classic like Yakuza jacket and stuff. I thought that would have been nice to have. The other weird thing about this game, no new game plus. Yeah, no new game plus for some reason. So if you really want to play this game with all of your upgrades and stuff, you're gonna have to mod the game for that, because this game for some reason just doesn't have new game plus, which is very odd. Like, why would they not have new game plus for this game? I think that was just a very odd decision overall. But like, I really like Gaiden. I've actually gone back to replay this game quite a bit since it is pretty short. But like, I actually really like Gaiden. I overall always have a fun time playing this game whenever I decide to boot it up. And you know, and I always leave the game very satisfied. And you know, it gets this job done. And for a game that's been made in 6 months, you know, it's solid. It's solid. Not amazing. Not an amazing game, but it is pretty solid. Excuse me. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Why is oh my god, why is talking for 2 hours always hurting my throat? Let me pull this back up. All right, where were we? All right, just finished talking about Pirate Yakuza. Um, so I remember when this game was actually initially being shown, I was actually very interested in where this was going, considering Infinite Wealth was such a emotionally heavy game. To shift to something like Pirate Yakuza felt very very interesting. And then the demo dropped. I played the demo. I actually did stream the demo here, and I actually ended up having a lot of fun with the demo. So the game. So the game came out. I played through it all. This is the only Yakuza game that I actually got a platinum for. I actually ended up really liking it, and I'm like, this game is really fun. I wonder what everyone else thinks. And then I look online and I find out that everyone thinks this is the worst thing RGG has ever put out. It's the worst Yakuza game. All that stuff. People really, really, really don't like Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. And it's not like I don't get it, because there are things about this game that's very strange. To go on the combat, the gameplay negatives. The heat bar. There's only one heat bar for some reason. I don't know why they decided to do it like this, but it's only one heat bar. The heat gain is absolutely awful, and to my knowledge, there's no. Can you get another heat bar? Well, there is another heat bar in the game's files, but I don't think you can actually access it. Unless you mod it in, of course. But this heat in this game kind of fucking sucks a little bit. Well, it's not completely useless. It still has some uses, the gun heat action out of pirate style, Sea Dog style. That one's really good. I think Sea Dog actually has all of the usable heat actions, while Mad Dog doesn't really have a really really good heat action, besides maybe the neck snap, because you're gonna be doing a lot of dodges essentially. What else is there? This game doesn't have grounded heat actions for some reason. I think they just it felt like heat in this game was an afterthought, and I feel that it probably was, which is very interesting, because I think you could practically go through the rest of this game without ever using heat at all. It's so inconsequential, because you can make Majima very strong in this game. So very strong to a point where just doing his normal combos and attacks are just enough for you to do, instead of just focusing on heat. Heat really doesn't have many great uses, and it's not it comes with when you, and how in older games when you block you gain heat after you level up. That's Pirate Yakuza doesn't really have anything like that, right? So it feels like heat was just very inconsequential in this game. Especially when you also see that taunts don't make you gain heat. So something that's always been a staple is now just gone for some reason. So that's where the combat really falters. Another thing that's some people are really bothered with the combat, it's just that it feels very samey. and I can kind of see where they're coming from there, because when you, especially when I played through like the PS3 era games, like and even like the early Dragon Engine games, you notice that when you do like different heavy finishers, you get like a different hit reaction, right? In Pirate Yakuza, you kind of end up getting the same result with the heat action, which is like you either get like a knockback, like enemies get like knocked back, or they get knocked down. It always like ends the same way. You don't have anything like the gut punch reactions, or like the turnaround heat actions, or like the stuns heat actions, you know? Um yeah, the game doesn't really have that. So things feel a little samey in terms of like what each attack does. Me personally, that doesn't like bother me, but for like a lot of people, especially like those who like really like the advanced combos in these games, Pirate Yakuza doesn't really have anything like very deep in terms of like very deep in terms of like mechanics when it comes to like the combat. So they can feel like the combat is faulty there. And then like the other thing, you know, people don't really like this game's iteration of Mad Dog, because this, for Pirate Yakuza, they decided to like change Mad Dog entirely by mixing it with Thug. Like all the rush combo stuff is like Thug, and then like the heavy and then like the heavy combos, the heavy stuff is for like the Mad Dog stuff, which is just the knife. So they really so you don't really get to do a lot of the weird like running around stuff that Mad Dog usually does. It feels more standardized to make Mad Dog work better as a single combat as a more single combat focused style. And oh god, my mind is like blanking out right now. It's probably why I don't stream very often. Like it's definitely hard for me to like talk for long periods of time, just raw thinking. Oh my god, I'm literally just like, I blanked out for a moment. I can't remember what I was talking about. I was talking about Mad Dog. They changed Mad Dog to be more overall better as like a single target combat focused skill, which is why they made a lot of these changes from the Mad Dog that we know from Yakuza 0. Mad Dog is very much more standardized to being like a slightly better version than Thug, but it's not like the Mad Dog style that like we know from Yakuza 0. But I'm gonna be honest, I kind of prefer it this way. I'm personally not a fan of Zero's Mad Dog style. And like I think it is a very cool and unique style, but like would I see myself using it over something like Breaker, which is already like the main crowd clearing oriented style? No, not really. I think I'll just continue to use Breaker for that instead of just Mad Dog. But Mad Dog is not like completely useless. But I just think, just me personally, I didn't think it really felt that great to play with. And in this game, it did for me. I'm always of the opinion that, you know, game feel is like really important. Like even if they have to like completely change something like entirely, as long as it feels good, like I'm not really gonna personally feel offended by it, you know? Like it's like that's what makes me wish if they were gonna change Kiryu's dragon style to what it is now in the Dragon Engine. I at least wish that it felt good, but we haven't really had the game. We never really had a game where it started feeling good yet, and I think I don't know if we ever will. But like I really wish they just made Kiryu's combat in the dragon style better. But like Majima is very fun in this game. I even love all the Sea Dog style stuff from like the cutlasses, boomerang, the guns, the hook shot, and then all the dark instruments where you could summon all the animal buddies. Those are very strong too. I think Sea Dog is a very fun style. I think that's how you really do a gimmicky style well that agent style just like wasn't able to accomplish. And then when it comes to the story, yeah, I admit like this game's story is not great, but like I don't hate it. Like I don't like hate. I don't like extremely hate it like everyone else does. I think there are some good parts about the story. Like me personally, the highlight of the story for me is Majima's relationship with Noah and how they interact. I love their bond together, and I love the fact that Majima's just whole motivation throughout the story is like, well, until they reveal like the actual motivation, but like the main motivation of the story was just to help Noah explore the outside world and like go on an adventure, just make the kid happy. And that's always been a part of Majima's character that I've really liked. And it's like is like his softness towards like kids and just wanting to make them happy. I've always liked that about Majima. Even when he's amnesiac, he still wants to do that for kids, and I think that's really sweet. I genuinely do think that's really sweet. This game also has some of my favorite side stories in the series. I love a lot of the sub stories in this game, especially the infamous Minato girls story with Masaru and the whole live action Bachelor's parody thing. I think that oh God. Oh man. Oh. Jeez. Damn it, man. Can I really not do this? This shit sucks. Like I'm actually like hurting talking too much. I might jeez, my throat. I might just have to call it here if my throat's gonna continue to be like this. Man, this shit hurts really bad. Oh gosh, man, this hurts really bad. All right. I guess it's probably just better. It's probably just better for me to just do this entire journey in like a video format. That's probably much easier for me because I'm trying to like talk consistently for like a couple of hours actually like really hurts my throat real bad. That's fine. I would at least appreciate anyone who came in just to pop in, just say hello. But it's okay. You'll definitely hear my I'll be making videos about all of these games throughout the year anyway. So you'll get my full explanations from then and there. I'll probably the next time if I ever do come back to stream, it'll probably just be when Shinobi actually drops on August 29th, and then I'll actually play it